Top 30 Iconic Quotes. Movie Hamlet, 1948. Laurence Olivier's Hamlet, 1948, is a cinematic adaptation of William Shakespeare's iconic tragedy, offering a powerful exploration of themes such as revenge, madness, and existential despair. Olivier's interpretation of Hamlet emphasizes the psychological dimensions of the protagonist's inner turmoil, marking the film as one of the most introspective takes on the bard's work. The plot revolves around Prince Hamlet, who returns to Denmark following the death of his father, King Hamlet. Haunted by the ghost of his father, Hamlet learns that his uncle, Claudius, has murdered the king to seize the throne and marry his mother, Queen Gertrude. Consumed by grief and a desire for revenge, Hamlet's quest leads him into a spiral of indecision, betrayal, and tragedy. Olivier's direction and performance bring depth to Hamlet's famous soliloquies, such as "and quot, to be, or not to be, and quot," reflecting his philosophical grappling with life and death. The film's atmospheric cinematography, with its stark shadows and sweeping camera movements, heightens the drama, capturing the isolation and moral ambiguity of Elsinore. Winning 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor, Hamlet, 1948, remains a landmark in Shakespearean cinema, celebrated for its psychological intensity and artistic brilliance. Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood, and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, to be, or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance. To dream, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear, to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Narrator. So oft it chances in particular men, that through some vicious mole of nature in them, by the o'ergrowth of some complexion, oft breaking down the pales and forts of reason, or by some habit grown too much, that these men, carrying, I say, the stamp of one defect, their virtues else, be they as pure as grace, shall in the general censure take corruption from that particular fault. This is the tragedy of a man who could not make up his mind. Ophelia, and daughter, my lord, I have remembrance of yours that I have longed to re-deliver. I pray you now receive them. Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. No, not I never gave. You ought. Ophelia, and daughter, my honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them, Words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these. Again. For, to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord. Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. Are you honest? Ophelia, and daughter, my lord. Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. I did love you once. Ophelia, and daughter. Indeed, my lord, you made me believe. So, Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, you should not have believed me. Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offences at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do, crawling between heaven and earth? We are arrant knaves, all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. In the Surtau, life is a battle where only the strong survive, and quot, we are not thieves, we take what the land has denied us, and quot, the Cangacero's law is the law of the gun, and quot, freedom comes at a price, and that price is blood, and quot, even in the harshest deserts, love can blossom, and quot, the Surtau is unforgiving, but so are we, and quot, a Cangacero is loyal to his band until his last breath, and quot, we are not villains, we are survivors of injustice, and quot, the sun burns our skin, but it cannot scorch our resolve, and quot, every outlaw has his reasons, and every reason has its pain, and quot, no man can escape the judgment of his own conscience, and quot, the Surtau doesn't create heroes, only survivors, and quot, a life of rebellion is a life of freedom, even if brief, and quot, the wind carries tales of our deeds, both noble and cruel, and quot, to live as a Cangaceer.